Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have some really bad news today about Robinhood, and I actually feel bad about this because I like Robinhood. I use Robinhood. I don't use Webull, I don't use Fidelity, I don't use all those other apps, and those are all fine apps. I just like Robinhood because I was introduced to Robinhood in 2019. I started using Robinhood. The whole GameStop AMC happened. I was like, it's crazy, it's bad, it's definitely bad for Robinhood, but I still use the app because it's easy and there's confetti that blows up when I buy a stock. No, I'm just kidding. But look, it's simple to use, easy consumer face. I don't need something super complex. When I start managing a lot more money, hopefully in the future, I will be using complex things. But for now, Robinhood is fine. And Cathie Wood owns about 14 million shares of Robinhood. And the really sad part about their earnings numbers that just came out that we're about to get into is that Robinhood was at all-time highs of $85. Now it's around $10. It was at $9.80 last night when earnings came out. It is $4 away from being a penny stock. Or less than $4 away from being a penny stock. If you're about under $5, you're considered a penny stock on the market. And guess what? Most funds, most institutions are not allowed from their own guidelines, which is kind of mainstream across all hedge funds and institutions that exist on Wall Street, to even have penny stocks in their portfolio. Like most of them, it's so risky to have a stock that's under $5 because so many things can happen because the stock is under $5 in terms of even getting delisted from the NASDAQ if it drops under $1, and then you got reverse splits. You have so many risks and volatility associated with the stock that's under $5, a considered penny stock that doesn't exist with all these other types of stocks, that Wall Street usually stays away from it. Robinhood, the application, the platform that brought millions of new users into investing, into stonks, into the world of finance and crypto and all this stuff, and most likely accumulated around billions of dollars of additional value going into the market, given how many people were using that platform to start trading that have never traded before, is now a couple dollars away from being considered a penny stock. Cathie Wood might have around 14 million shares of a penny stock. That was once $85. $85 to $10 is like .com level crashes to me. So the question becomes, can Robinhood get out of this? We're going to go through some of their Q4 earnings because it was pretty rough. It was rough. There's nothing else to say about that. And then we're going to see if there's some optimism for them to be able to get out of this. So key takeaways: Robinhood anticipates their first quarter revenue of less than $340 million, down 35% compared with 2021, which is guidance for Q1 2022. Wall Street expected $448 million of revenue in Q1. That is why the shares tanked 15%, because Wall Street wanted 448 million for Q1 of 2022. Robinhood's like, hey, we're probably going to do 340 million. So their guidance was lower that much, which is why their share price dropped. Monthly active users fell to 17.3 million last quarter compared to 18.9 million in the third quarter. And I think this is the big part. Robinhood needs people to trade on the platform in order for the platform to make any sense. Like if you're not trading on the platform, Robinhood's not making any money because Robinhood doesn't get paid for a commission. Robinhood doesn't have like some type of monthly subscription fee unless you pay for Robinhood Gold. You need to be making trades, and Robinhood takes the data from those trades and sells it to other hedge funds and institutions. It is called payment for order flow. That is their business model. So the more people that are doing activity on Robinhood, Robinhood gets to take that data and sell it to market makers and hedge funds and places like Citadel, etc. And they use that data to conduct their own trades, which is why the whole concept of Robinhood is kind of ridiculous, because it's like, the whole concept of Robinhood is take from the rich and give to the poor, but like the poor are like trading on this app and all that data is going to the rich. So it's like, it's always been a weird, like paradoxical like concept, but nonetheless the app was good, right? It was consumer friendly and like people liked it. But 17.3 million people using it down from 18.9 million is bad, because that means the company is not growing. And in a high growth tech company, a company that Cathie Wood bought 14 million shares of, you need to be growing. It can't be deaccelerating. For the fourth quarter of 2021, Robinhood reported a net loss of $423 million, or a 49-cent loss per diluted share, wider than the 45% loss estimated collected by Wall Street. However, Robinhood posted $363 million in revenue in the final 3 months of 2021, slightly above the analyst expectations of $362.1. So they whopped up a measly $900,000 and they beat expectations. Now, their stock is down more than 86% from its recent highs. Shares are down more than 34% from January, bringing its market cap to just $10 billion. We're talking about a company that at one point was reaching $100 billion of market cap, and now it is at $10 billion of total estimated value for the company. Fourth quarter transaction-based revenue was $264 million. Options trading was about $163 million. Cryptocurrency added about $48 million, and equities contributed to about $52 million. Now, revenue from crypto has been declining since the second quarter of 2021, which is also really bad, after they made $233 million in Q2 of 2021. This was the whole GameStop AMC stuff and Dogecoin. Crypto-based revenue was only $51 million in the third quarter. So they went from 233 down 4 times to $51 million. And Thursday's report is showing that it's going to continue to decline going forward. So how does Robinhood get out of this? Now, I don't have a position in Robinhood. And the reason I don't have a position in Robinhood, even though one of my philosophies is like buy companies you can actually understand, you can invest in, that you have an understanding of it and sort of an intimate relationship with. This is why I like Facebook. And I have sort of a thesis on why I think Facebook is massively undervalued right now. Robinhood is a product I use every day, intimately. I mean, it controls my money, right? And whether you agree or disagree with that, I continue to use it because it's easy to use right now and I don't really need the need for anything else. But Robinhood has a problem because if Robinhood can't get more and more people to expand into their ecosystem, they're simply not going to grow. And at this point, if they're not growing, they're not getting enough level of users for it to become that sort of mainstay consumer-facing app that everyone uses for investing. Now, the sad part about this is a lot of the reason why there's been such a massive decline is because when Robinhood popped, it was because of AMC, GameStop, and Dogecoin. Dogecoin had a lot of crypto trading. AMC and GameStop had a lot of crazy volatility, and people were using Robinhood to be able to share trades. And it gave Robinhood all this free publicity. Like a lot of people didn't really know about Robinhood. The pandemic happened. More people want to start getting into investing. Robinhood was the obvious option. And then all these other multiple catalysts happen. The reason I never bought shares of Robinhood is because I always saw those things that are happening as like, things that shouldn't be pumping up the stock price, right? I think they IPO'd at $38, which like to me, it seemed reasonable but I was also just like, $38 for this, like it didn't really make a lot of sense. And then you see Cathie Wood's buying so much of it and she's buying in 40s and 50s. And I'm like, I guess I'm wrong. I guess she knows something that I don't know about Robinhood. And then you start to realize, wait a second, a lot of the reasons they were posing those revenues was because of external things that were happening. It wasn't like this organic type of growth. And when you have these, highs that are in the middle of user growth and company mainstream media coverage, and it falls down because those things go away, then you don't have this sort of organic graph going up and to the right. That's a more positive slope curve. You just have these weird roller coaster graphs. And a lot of those roller coaster graphs sometimes can go well, but if you don't capitalize on those moments and eventually get it to be organically growing, it's not going to work out. So what can be done for Robinhood? This is the question. And I want something to be done for Robinhood because I use Robinhood. Imagine going to a penny stock is kind of crazy for me because a penny stock to me is almost like, is it going to get delisted? Or a company's going to have to sell it off? Or hedge fund's going to have to get rid of it? And I'm like, that's not possible because 17 million people are using this thing, right? Like it has to have some value. There's no way it can just like go out of business. So I don't think Robinhood's going out of business, but there's a couple things they need to do. Number one, first and foremost, crypto wallets. We've got to get crypto wallets into Robinhood. I will consider maybe opening up a position in Robinhood from an investing perspective if they get crypto wallets, because if they're already sort of an epicenter for cryptocurrency trading that is free. Remember, you can't trade cryptocurrencies for free on Coinbase. You have to pay a transaction. That's why I know a lot of people that do Bitcoin and Ethereum on Robinhood. Did they get the best prices? No. Can they take the cryptocurrencies outside of Robinhood? No. But if you're just doing it from a speculative perspective, which I think most of cryptocurrency is going to be for the next 5-6 years, Robinhood can capitalize on that. But the problem is they don't have these crypto wallets, and the crypto community wants the crypto wallets. Until you get the crypto wallets, you're not going to get massive user adoption. That's the first thing I think they need to do. Number two, they need to introduce NFTs. They need to do NFTs. Coinbase is doing NFTs. OpenSea is doing NFTs. OpenSea is valued, literally OpenSea is valued more on the private markets than Robinhood is on the public markets right now. Robinhood is a market capitalization of $10 billion. OpenSea, which is the largest world's marketplace for NFTs, just raised a Series C round of around $300 million, valuing it at $13.3 billion. So it's valued more on the private markets than Robinhood on the public markets. Robinhood needs to introduce NFTs. I don't know how they do that, but they have to create a mechanism by which NFTs can be traded on the platform in a way that allows it to blend with the cryptocurrency trading they have. Again, I don't know how they get that done, but if they can tap into that community, I think there's a community of people there that would support it. Number three, have to roll out new financial products as soon as possible. Like they just have to. Robinhood stock will not survive unless there is a 401k, a Roth IRA, maybe a checkings and a savings account. They need to like begin debit cards to people as soon as as fast as possible. I know they have some debit cards, but like they've got to innovate the whole suite of financial services. I've heard what SoFi is doing is challenging Robinhood to such an extent because even though they're not doing all this trading stuff, SoFi is like actually having this suite of financial services that they're offering to people. Retirement, insurance, loans, all of this stuff, right? Robinhood needs to integrate that immediately, and every week they should be introducing a new feature that gets more and more people excited about going to the product and having that product be the one-stop shop for all of their financial needs. Next, Robinhood needs to introduce altcoins. If they have altcoins, if they had Shiba Inu by now on Robinhood, I mean, there would be so much more trading. All they have is Doge, ETH, and Bitcoin. Like, why aren't the world's altcoins tradable on Robinhood? Like, they've got to be able to think about that stuff. It's not like it's exclusively has to happen on Coinbase. Obviously, Coinbase is more native to it because it's rooted in crypto, so they're more easily able to integrate it faster and more efficiently and productively. But Robinhood has a lot of people using crypto. If they can get all those altcoins, that's a ton of more trading revenue and more trading activity happening on the platform. Okay, finally, I think they need to do a social media play. I think that Robinhood, if they can integrate what public.com is doing, and public.com is like when you trade, like it like goes into like an algorithmic feed and you can see what other people are trading, and they get all these big influencers like Graham Stephan, for example, who's big on YouTube, and he buys Apple, like, and everyone gets to see those updates in real time what he's buying. It's a cool little thing. I don't think it saves the company, but I think it at least gets them more marketing, right? Like, first of all, Vlad needs to be doing more interviews. I don't know where the hell Vlad is. He was doing some interviews in 2021 and now he disappeared. He needs to be on a new podcast every single week. I don't know why they don't have him on a new podcast every week, just like with a bunch of random people. They're not going to ask him the hardest questions in the world. He'll get more publicity. Number two, when you have the CEO doing all these public interviews and then you integrate a sort of social media play into Robinhood where you can buy and sell stuff and it goes into a feed and other people can see what you're buying and selling and comment and like that stuff, well, there's some real big potential there in terms of creating a more social dynamic and keeping people on the app. So those 17.3 million people, even if that goes down to 17.2, you at least have people doing more activity because they're using the platform more every day. You're getting more of their time, that your APRU, your average revenue per user, or ARPU, ends up going up. So even if their user growth is going to keep slowing down, which they're projecting it's going to keep slowing down, at least we can get more money out of them because they're using the product more. That is the potential to scale as well. Finally, here's my wild card. Maybe start a media company. Maybe Robinhood Media. Robinhood is a brokerage, but maybe if Robinhood has a media play and they like start creating a ton of content around business and they make their version of CNBC. I mean, who knows? CNBC is a multi-billion-dollar company. They covered news 24/7. Why can't Robinhood invest, some hundreds of millions of dollars into creating their version of CNBC and then have a sort of advertising piece of revenue that's coming into the platform? And like, imagine Robinhood had 10 shows that was producing 3 videos a day on YouTube. You have 30 pieces of content that are all sponsored by none other than Robinhood, constantly going out into the internet. Then those 30 videos become, 10 clips each on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and like Snapchat and TikTok. And now you have all of this media around Robinhood's version of CNBC constantly going out every single day, just like the real CNBC has. Even though CNBC is on TV, if Robinhood was to do that through digital stuff, and you're talking about podcasts and article, I mean, they can really take over a digital media presence by creating their own media company within Robinhood. And all of that is going to be constantly sponsored by Robinhood, reinforcing the brand, hopefully getting people to come use this freaking platform. Those are my thoughts and recommendations and suggestions on what I think Robinhood needs to do, because they've got to do something. Leave it in the comments. What do you think they can do? Do you have a position in Robinhood? Are you buying the dip? Are you waiting to get it for it to get to a better price? What are your thoughts on the stock? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. Let me know your suggestions for how Robinhood can improve. Looking forward to reading them. My name is Mitt. I'll see you in the next one.